everybody? We out here in Orlando at the FNF studio. Hold up. Let me stop.
Okay.
You gotta get right.
Stop playing with them real quick.
That's a whole fact.
You gotta
Let me
get
stop
right.
playing with them real
Okay.
quick. So we here at the FNF studio, guys. We're about to drop some heat today. But you know what? Let's start off. Marcy, you want to start off? Everybody just introduce themselves real quick.
So my name is Marcy. I'm the creative director, basically brand manager for the whole entire brand.
My name is Joshua Rodriguez. I'm the CEO of Fame and Fortune.
My name is Money Boy. I'm the business strategist for Fame and Fortune.
Money Boy, I heard that correct.
Thanks.
Right.
Nah, so we here, man, and I wanna, you know, what's funny? I don't think we've ever had this conversation, so y'all gonna hear it for the first time too.
Okay.
I actually, the way I found out about you guys, I saw, you know, I saw Fame and Fortune everywhere and things like that. But I was actually down in Miami with my boy Ivan. You know Ivan, right? You know
Paychecks,
Ivan
of
Paychecks?
course, yes.
He was like, yo, you should check out my boys in Orlando. Fame and Fortune, they doing their thing. I'm like, yo, I've been hearing about, like, I've been seeing the brand everywhere. That's dope. That's dope that you know them. And then I was chilling with Ness a week later, and he was like, yeah, I'm in Orlando. Yo, you should check out my boys over at Fame and Fortune. And then I come here, you know, I started training for the fight. And I came to Orlando. I was only gonna be here for a week, and I was supposed to go back to New York to go train, right? Mm-hmm. And I hit up Josue. Me and Josue go way back. I'm like, yo, Josue, let's link up, let's shoot a video. And he's like, yo, if you want, later tonight, I'm gonna be training over at Fame and Fortune.
All roads
And
lead to Fame and Fortune.
I'm like, nah, bro, I gotta pull up, cause there's like the fourth person in a row that done said something.
Right.
And that's the night I came over here. I linked up with Dada, linked up with everybody. And so we're here now, man. So it's dope because everything kind of just, I don't believe in coincidence, you know. So
Right.
I'm really grateful. I'm really excited to be here. And I think you guys got a dope story. And, you know, we about to have, you know, this podcast right now streaming in over 50 countries.
Thank
so
you.
we about to have a lot of people listen to it.
Nice.
Welcome.
That's a fact, man. I mean, like you said, there was no coincidence, man. 4 people telling you about the brand, you know what I mean? We're always working, like yourself, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming by, you know what I'm saying, showing us love, especially having us on your podcast, you know what I'm saying? A huge step for us, especially as a brand. It's the first of many, you know
First
what I'm
of
saying?
many, facts. First of many. Man, let's take it back. Let's take it Throwback Thursday today. Tell us how it first started, bro. How Fame and Fortune started.
Initially, man, we started out of a garage, you know, like this started all in like 2012, 2011. But like many brands, you know, we went through a lot of hurdles, you know what I'm saying? I really didn't know much about branding, you know what I'm saying? Like when we first started, we didn't own the trademark, you know what I'm saying? So we went through a lot of obstacles just to get the trademark itself, you know? When I found out that the trademark belonged to someone else, I was already invested, like $30,000-$40,000 invested into equipment, clothing, all kinds of stuff. So what I did was, me and my wife, we went ahead and we did some research and found the person who actually owned the trademark. You know what I'm saying? Our first response back from the person who owned the trademark, he asked us for $100,000 to purchase it from him. You know, at the time I didn't even have the money.
Crazy.
So I went ahead and you know, explained to him my life story, what I've been through, how much money I invested in the brand, and how much I believed in the brand. And he responded back, and he was like, "Yo, listen, man, I love your story. You know, what can you afford?" And I'm like, anywhere from like $3,000 to $5,000. And he shot low. He was like, "Man, give me the $3,000." At the same time, he went ahead and assigned us his lawyer, you know. And when she got in contact with us, the first thing she asks me, she's like, "Yo, what did you tell him?" And I'm like, I told him the truth, you know. And she was like, you know, because I've had offers for like $20,000, $30,000 for this trademark, and he's never sold it. So whatever you told him, it touched him, you know. And he went ahead and I was able to get the trademark for like $3,500, which normally, you know what I'm saying, just to give people an insight about trademarking and how things work, you know what I'm saying? It's not as hard as it seemed, you know what I'm saying? It's just the fact that people just don't do the research, but just to trademark a logo, a name on USPTO.gov, it only costs $250, you know what I'm saying? So I'm paying extra over what a normal trademark would cost, you know what I'm saying? But
because you already had so much invested.
I had invested, but it belonged to someone. So it wasn't like I bought this from the actual site. Like no one owned the name, you
It
know.
would have been that cheap.
It would have been a lot
Yeah.
cheaper if I just thought of the name and boom, I paid $250 just to get the trademark. I would have the trademark within 6 months, you know. But because it belonged to somebody else, it was a lot more expensive, you know. So he made money off the fact that, you know, he owned the trademark. You know what I'm saying? So. We went on, and his lawyer went ahead and finalized the paperwork.
Which he could have killed you.
No, of course,
Because the
man.
brand itself,
Absolutely.
the name, fame, and fortune is so popular and
Right.
such a
Yeah,
high
I
demand.
bet.
Listen,
And
man,
so-
rich people, that's what they do.
Exactly.
They trademark brands. You know, they go and trademark
Before
names.
it's actually created or established, and then hoping that whenever you do decide that you want to create something with that name, that's already somebody already owns it, so you got to come and buy it. Some people see and view that as like a check. You know what I'm saying?
It's almost like digital real estate.
Right,
It's
absolutely.
almost like digital real estate.
Right.
So by the time you want to come at, somebody already owns it.
Yeah.
Right, exactly, just like that. You know what I'm
And
saying?
but like
So-
he said, the story of him, you know, just being honest with the dude and telling the dude what it, you know, everything he's done and on his
Pause
own
for a second.
and where he came from, you know, led into the fact that the guy really understood that. And so that goes to show you that the story, that how it related to him, outside of the fact that he showed him dumb love. Imagine what that guy been through to understand his story, if you think of it from that perspective.
Because at that point, if you really think about it, somebody else was offering more money,
And he
but
didn't take
it's
it.
literally somebody. Like, if you think about it, he
I
probably
guarantee
saw the
you,
story.
son,
He was like,
had
the
the
money
same
just wasn't
story
even
as you.
anything to him.
How he
Well, not-
started was probably similar.
Bro,
very
listen,
similar
from what I got
to
from his
understand it.
lawyer is that what he did. He just acquired trademarks. He would buy trademarks just so they could resell them to people. And it's just it's crazy
Oh,
because
a business.
Yeah, like he said,
Making money.
it's digital real estate, bro. Like these people, they understand. Like, yo, bro, these certain names. Like, for instance, I had a friend of mine who owned
They do the same thing with websites.
No, yes,
Yeah,
right.
the
I was
domains
just about to
all
get
the
to that
time.
right now, right? Well, I got a friend of mine who actually bought what was
Young Money?
Young Money from
Young Money Entertainment.
Entertainment, right? He bought the domain, all right, and you know, Baby came and pretty much extorted him for that trademark, for that domain, you know. So it's the same thing, is you know, but like I said, man, I was just blessed to have that because I found out a year later the same person who sold me the trademark had passed away.
That's
Wow.
He didn't even get a chance to say thank you, basically.
Damn.
You know, what I mean,
That's
I did.
crazy.
You know, we wrote him an extensive email letting him know, like, yo, thank you for,
Being grateful.
you know,
But
saying,
like to show him, because
Right.
like within that year, like you took it to a different level. You know what I'm saying? And it's like him allowing you to have the trademark. You were able to really make it your own a lot more than you already were.
What year was that?
This was 2011, 2012, like 2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you tell him, bro? What was it that you told him?
Bro, listen, man. I told him, like, you know, I have been in some trouble when I was younger. When I had just came home from doing a 5-year bid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I invested my savings. You know what I'm saying? I came home, the little money that I had put aside, I pretty much invested it into this brand. You know, and I told him that I had, you know, at the time I had 3 children, and that I believed in the brand so much that I went ahead and invested my savings into this because I had faith that it was going to go somewhere. And man, he wrote back and he was like, man, how much can you afford? You know, that was his exact answer. Like, how much can you afford? And I responded back like, yo, anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000. And he shot low. I was expecting him to go $5,000, you know, just so he can make some extra money.
Yeah.
To negotiate.
But
Everybody
I
gonna go for that
pretty
high
much.
number.
Yeah, everybody will go for
You
that.
tell me
course.
3,000 to 5,000. I'm going 5,000.
Right. You know, I swear to you,
Right.
that's what I expected. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was really gonna shoot high, and he came back low. And when I spoke to his lawyer, she was like, "Man, I've had offers for $20,000, $30,000. You know, people ready to purchase it." And he's told them no. But I guess my story, to me letting them know that, you know,
That's what it is,
I had
a story.
kids, I had just came home from prison, and I you know, I really believed in the brand. You know, he looked out. You know, he helped out. You know, and I'm grateful for that. You know what I'm saying?
And that was years ago.
Yeah.
So to come all this way and still be
Facts.
here, and, you know.
But yeah, that was just
it
the
goes to
beginning,
show
man.
that
That was
investment.
2012, you said.
2012.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that around the time all of you guys met?
Yeah,
Or
I
you
mean,
guys
Just
knew each other
about.
before
yeah,
that?
right.
Just
I mean,
about, because I was fresh out of high school, and he was always like that guidance, like that friendship just established because he's older than me, so it was like that wiser person I used to come to and speak to. And mind you, he was always working like that. He actually already had the brand at that point.
Yeah.
Because I used to come to his house. I remember him being in the garage. And if I wanted his time, he'd be making the shirts, and I'd just be there. All right, let me fold them for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I would get my
Fact.
time. And he was like, he's always been that guidance for me. You know what I'm in
I
every in
never
all
stopped
aspects.
working, bro. Like, yo, I was married at the time. She was pregnant. And she's like, yo, you'll never spend time with me. And I'm like, yo, if you really want to spend time with me, all you got to do is come to the garage. I ain't going far.
Literally.
I'm not far. Like, you really want to spend some time with me? Like, yo, all you got to do is open up the garage door and come chill with me. Because I'm literally there day and night. Like, you know, I started screen printing because, yo, in Orlando at the time, you know, we just so everybody could understand, like, yo, Orlando is not really fashionally driven. There's not too many people out here that, yo, you wake up in the morning and it's like, yo, listen, I gotta look fly. Because out here it's like, yo, you just sitting by a pool, you chilling, you know? But coming from New York, just to walk to a corner store, you know, you gotta get fly.
Bro,
you know
you
what I'm
fly
saying?
to go to Walgreens.
Right,
Nah, that's it.
right.
That's
You can't just wear anything when you're in New York. So me coming out here with that mindset, like, yo, I like to look fly. You know, I'm gonna make sure that, you know, I do something fly. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Orlando's not really on that, you know, yo, I gotta get fly. Nowadays, you see more.
Yeah.
I remember when I first got down here, Reeboks was the
Dickies.
Reeboks and Dickies and Johnny Blaze.
When'd you get here? What year you got here?
I got here pretty, like, I want to say, early 2000s.
Early, and people don't realize at that time Orlando wasn't really developed.
No.
That's
I
when
was
you
here
could
in
still see
01.
like alligators and
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
Randomly, not for
Yeah,
real.
just
Well,
like,
empty
oh,
lots,
look at
yo.
the alligator, you know what I'm saying?
There was a lot of empty lots out here. You know,
Yeah.
every other house
see
was
deers
just
and-
being
and
developed.
alligators
Yeah.
fighting.
Yeah,
On the side of the
deer,
road.
It was real
you see
different.
mad wildlife out here.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
people
yeah.
don't realize like y'all got here at Orlando's not what it was right now.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not. But, you know, that was in the beginning. But around 2012, you know, a lot of New Yorkers started coming out here. Well, a lot of people from all over the world because, you know, we have one of the biggest universities in the country, you know what I'm saying, with UCF and stuff. So, you know, but it was a breaking point for me. It made me realize, like, yo, I could do a lot more other than what I was used to doing growing up, you know what I'm saying? So, I just pushed hard, bro, you know, but, you know, I've had my ups and downs with the brand. You know, we started out the garage and I started screen printing because everybody in Orlando wasn't on, they didn't know how to screen print. And if you did, you had to go to a major company and they'll push you 2 weeks out. And I'm trying to make money now. So, like, I can't wait 2 weeks to send you a design and you print a t-shirt and me go make money because I got a family to feed. So I went ahead and I went to a trade show and I go to a trade show where they have silk screening machines. The guy comes out and tells me, I walk up to the dude and I'm like, yo, how much do you want for that machine? And he looks at me, he's like, you serious? I'm like, I'm dead serious. And he was like, well, I want $5,000 for the machine. I was like, well, you think I'll come back and pick it up? And he was like, well, the trade show's still going on. If you want it, you come back tomorrow and I'll sell it to you. So I waited till the next day, came back to the trade show and I bring my money. And I was like, I want the machine. And he looked at me, he's like, you dead serious? So I'm like, yeah.
Yo,
He's
but
like,
to piggyback off of that real quick, back to how like far we go back, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like our families known each other for a long time.
Right.
We both come from Brooklyn, New York. Our
Right.
whole families are from there, from that same concrete jungle. And so about four years ago or so, we really started clicking because we always knew each other, but we always want our own paths to get money.
Right.
And so I really, off of what he said earlier, coming to the garage if you want to spend time with me.
Yeah.
That dedication, his brand, Fame and Fortune, the brand, Fame and Fortune, is specifically that. Dedication, determination, you know, is the keys to success. That's his motto. That's the motto the brand runs off of.
mindset.
And so I clicked with that. And I really appreciate that because you don't find too many people like that. And so for me, that was more so when I seen that was who he was, it said, hey, listen, you know what? I really got to mess with dude. Dude really knows what he's doing. And to this day, you don't find too many people like that. And he's still that same way. Tomorrow, I'll come in with my money. You can't ask him to do something or you need something to be done and it won't get done with this
Gets
dude.
That's a
done.
fact.
And,
Nah, that's a
and
fact.
for that, for me, that's the main reason why I'm a part of this brand and the culture and Fame and Fortune family.
That's a fact. I mean,
Were you already out here in Orlando?
Yeah, I was out here for a while too. I'm from Brooklyn. I was out here probably around the same time. So like our families all start transitioning from out there. I don't know if it was because they knew something we ain't know as kids, but we all ended up here with the alligators and the deers. But at the end of the day, you know, we all, you know, have that same mindset, that same get money and make stuff, make it happen type of mentality. And so it was dope, man. That was dope.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. I love I love it, man, because I actually I didn't move to Florida right away, right? But I joined the military. I went to California. I've been all over, bro. California. I was in Japan for a little bit. North Carolina. Last year we had moved to Tampa. Like that's when I was out already. But one thing, and
Yeah,
I used to
Tampa's
hate
lit, too.
Orlando. I used to hate Orlando. I ain't gonna lie to you. I hated Orlando. Ask Levi. Levi behind the camera. Levi, ain't I hate Orlando?
Yo, he did not like it at all.
Damn,
Yeah,
chill,
bro.
Bob.
And I've been out here for 2 months now, and the one thing I really fuck with Orlando is that there's a lot of people from up top down here
Yes.
Yeah.
that are hustling.
It's
though.
diverse.
Yeah,
Word.
and that
Word,
are
that's a fact.
hustling, and I really like that. You know, because it's like we got a different culture from any like New York, New Jersey,
fact.
Philly, Delaware, Baltimore.
It's a
whatever
different
the case. Yeah,
mindset.
it's
That's what it is.
Completely different.
And that's what, honestly, that's what drove me to my friendship with him, because I lived out here for some time and I went to like middle school, high school, but the mindset is just something that a lot of people can be very complacent, like very easily satisfied. Like I know friends that are still doing the same thing that they did 10 years ago, and it's like their life is just, there's nothing to it. You know what I'm saying? Like with him, his friendship with like what he's taught me so much, like he's always had that hustler's mentality. So how could you not be motivated working side by side with somebody like him? And we're very similar in like the mindset aspect. So he unlocks that in everybody in our team.
Word.
One thing that's a big lesson here, and what both of you guys just said, I wanna really like emphasize the point, is that somebody told me is that you buy into. A lot of people don't buy into a company until they buy into the leader.
Yeah.
Of course.
Until they buy into the vision, you know. And I think just what
Fact.
both of you guys said right now is a really clear example of that.
That's
If you
100%.
were buying into a vision and buying into a leader,
Yeah.
because you wouldn't be able to believe in the vision if you didn't think the leader was able to accomplish it.
Of course.
So I
Yeah,
think
no,
that's
that's a
I really
fact,
want to
man.
point that out right
Yeah,
there.
definitely, man. That's a fact. And with him, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing, and you know that you're gonna get 100% every time. You can sit back and watch how, you know, that that energy and that his characteristics is like it rubs off on everybody around, and it's dope. It's positive, and it's a dope energy to have, man. And it don't only influence the people around him and the back end, the team. It also influences, from what I've seen, the culture. It influences the brand, which the brand is influencing the culture. You seen the athletes, the artists, from the rappers. You seeing the motorcyclists and all this, you know, bike life
Facts.
enthusiasts, and
Like,
you know,
we're gonna get into that too. We gonna
there's
get
a
into
lot.
that.
So
We
you
gonna get
see
into
how
that.
the brand influence it, and I'll tell you one thing. You see how you said you made a statement that you went here and this at Fame and Fortune.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
go, you see everybody, and they're not only messing with Fame and Fortune because Fame and Fortune is sitting here giving $1 million to them to mess with it. It's all organic, you know.
Facts.
They're doing it because they believe in that same thing you
Right.
mentioned, and that energy and what he brings to the table.
They see
And
it.
So it's a bigger
Real
picture.
rec- they
And
say real
literally-
recognize real.
Everything that you see in here, like, it looks dope. Like, everything, like the studio, everything that you see in here looks dope. But little do people know that he actually finalizes to get it done. Like, he's literally been in here putting this together himself. Like, it's not just everything looks so nice and presentable. Like, this man literally will be here sweating, putting everything, all the final touches, all construction, anything. If he doesn't know it, he'll learn it and he'll make it happen. So everything that you see here, his hands have touched it, because that's how involved he is in everything that he does.
Oh, word, yeah. He don't
That's
sit
what's up.
still.
That's what's up.
I'm the type of person, if I tell you I'm gonna do it, it's done.
It gets done.
You can't come to me with a problem without me trying to find a solution.
I
And
like
he'll make
that.
you want to learn construction. I was over here like, what can I do? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just his personality.
Y'all got other cups? Y'all got more cups? So let me ask you something, bro.
So
Before, because you know, you told me kind of when the brand got started. What made you even want to start it? Like, what was the vision? Like, what made you be like, nah, this is it? What was
Bro,
the, like the name, the
I
idea? Like,
came home and my little brother was already doing it. He's not here with us today because obviously, you know, he's off with the family right now. But when I came home, he was already involved in it. You know what I'm saying? And I believe, like, I remember going certain places and them always asking him, like, yo, bro, what's up with the Fame and Fortune? You know, I need some more shirts. I need this. I need that. And, you know, my little brother, like, he does things kind of half-assed. So I'm like, yo, I sat with him one day. I'm like, yo, bro, what we going to do with that, you know?
Shout out
'Cause-
to Dada, man.
Yeah, shout out to my little brother, Dada, man.
Diamond
He couldn't
Dollar.
be with us, yeah.
Facts.
But, like, I'm good. So, you know, I sit with him and I'm like, yo, what we trying to do with this, you know? And he's like, yo, bro, it's whatever, you know? And from that day forward, it's like, let's go. Because I really didn't have no other, like, plans when I came home. Like, you know, I came home with a lot of tools, you know, because I spent time in the feds and I learned a lot while I was there. So I come home and I'm just like, yo, what I'm gonna do next? You know what I'm saying? I can't keep on going to the streets, ain't nothing there. You know, I got kids I gotta leave something for. And finally, you know, I was like, you know what? Let's push forward with the brand. You know, we started in the garage, and then, you know, obviously I went through some more legal troubles throughout the time, and then we shut it down during the time, came back up. This is like our third time revamping the brand. You know,
What year was the third time that you got started?
just what, like a year and a half ago, like close to 2 years.
So
We're
I
in
had moved
2000.
back a year ago.
All right, so
I
yeah,
would
about
say
2 years,
a little
two,
bit.
2 years ago. 2 years ago, it was like, you know, I
Really
said
hit the ground running.
hit the ground, because you know what, I started the first time, we shut it down, started again, and then, you know, and we've always had, like, you know, when you got a good product, bro, and you know, you get the response that you're looking for. Everybody's like, yo, damn, what's up with the clothes? I'm really feeling it. I like what you guys are doing. That's what did it for me. You know, that's when I knew then, like, yo, this is a brand that I can't. You know, I had other partners as well, too, that I started with that owned the trademark with me, but they were trying to hold me back. They really weren't trying to help me get to the next level because it's my vision. You know what I'm saying? They had their own things going on, so they really they didn't see what I saw. You know, in the beginning they did, because a lot of people, you know, with the type of the way this brand took off, a lot of people just do it for the fame. You know what I'm saying? And I just seen the bigger pictures. Like, you know, I want the fortune. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
So I just stuck with it. You know what I mean? And most of these kids, they didn't see that. They just wanted the look. You know what I'm saying? So my partners faded out easily. You know, and then I was able to acquire the trademark by myself. Yo, bro, I remember calling the trademark office like 20 times. To finally, I got on the phone with this lady that answered my phone calls a few times, and she was like, son, can I give you some advice? I'm like, yes. She's like, yo, how many people know that the trademark is about to be expired? I'm like, no one. She's like, well, wait till 12 o'clock midnight and just resubmit a new application. All right?
Were they younger than you? Your partner?
Yes,
your partner?
they were younger.
By a
than me.
lot?
Yeah, but you know, they have no aspirations. They have no motivation in life. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
I think that was interesting. Cause I remember the other day we was training and you was talking Jose.
Yeah.
And y'all was talking. Y'all older than me and Levi and all of that. And y'all was talking about how you see there's a lot of people now who mistake clout for success.
Right.
That's a fact.
You know, and that's why I'm asking. They were younger than you, because that sounded like that was part
Absolutely.
of the problem.
Fame
That
and
they-
fortune, what he just said right now just kind of like triggered to me because I never really looked at it this way or whatever. But if you think about it, it's a balance. A lot of people under the impression we grow up, then again, told is either fame or the fortune. You know, you want the fortune, you want the fame, like. And to be honest with you, you can have it both. It's a balance. You got to know how to control it.
And in a
To
way,
master
one
that
brings
shit,
the other.
you
Because
the
if
man.
you have fortune, who are you? Who is that person? What are they doing? Then here comes the fame. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
they both tie into each other.
There's
Regardless.
people right now that pay a lot of money to keep their names on Forbes, bro. All right, like they spend a lot of money just so their names won't be published. But with the fame comes, with the fortune comes the fame.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a millionaire out there that you might not know of. He's gonna have some type of status unless he's paying to not have his name published.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, one always comes with the other, bro. No matter what, you know.
Nah, I hear that, man.
That's fameandfortune.com.
Fortune Co.
You had to get that bitch in there.
FameandFortuneCo.com.
That's a fact.
Oh, yeah, fameandfortunecode.com.
Yes.
You gotta get it right.
Fame and Fortune Co.
Right.
Now, so I know. What do you think? You said this is the third time y'all revamped. What was different this time? What'd you do different this time that really made
I
it
had a
take
team. I actually found the right people to help me. He plays a huge part in this. You know what I'm saying? Especially her. You know, like, because like, yo, any success story, you ain't never really gonna hear about it if you don't have the right team.
It's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what was different. I've been so used to doing things on my own that, you know, this is bigger than me. And I knew I was gonna need the right people. And, you know, not to say that, yo, bro, we've taken off. We're doing pretty well for ourselves.
Yeah.
But I know we have so much more to grow. And along this journey, we're
Always.
gonna acquire
Always room for
more people to help us along this. Especially, you know, you with the podcast coming through today. I really appreciate that. That's love. You know, but what happened differently this time was the fact that I actually have the right pieces around me now.
And that's important. And I heard this quote, and I love this. Is one of my favorite quotes that said, "If you think you can accomplish the vision by yourself, then it's not big enough.
That's a fact.
If you think you can do it by yourself, it's not big enough."
That's a fact.
And
I
so
like that.
that's like I believe in all of that, right? I'm the everybody eats kind of guy
Yeah.
because if you up and I'm up and he's up, now we can make those big plays.
Exactly.
Them $1 billion plays it's not one person making them.
Absolutely
It's a
Exactly.
lot of people making them.
Right.
Of course.
Right. Like a lot of these big corporations, these Fortune 500 companies you see, man, they got a whole squad behind them, you know? And, you know, eventually we'll get to that.
Yeah, one
You
day
know,
we'll
but
get to
I've
it.
always said, man, let me get 1 or 2 people. That's all I need. Because I know what I'm capable of. But let me get 1 or 2 people that are like-minded and they have the same motivation in life, and the rest is history.
Yo, and this dude that's like a strong point for him is like something else that he's real great at doing is putting people in the right position and in the right place, especially around what he got going on. So specifically for the brand, he's real good at seeing what you're good at doing and how he can use you for that specific thing. And a lot of the times he does it personally, like not even for the brand. Like if he sees there's something you can do to help someone else that he knows, he puts you in that position. He's real good at
I
that.
don't hold
you know?
back.
It's so he makes it so much more simple for me sometimes because, like, I just stepped back into everything a year ago when I moved back, and after high school I took some time that I moved to like up north, and I ended up tapping
She's
into
from Boston.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I ended up tapping into you stupid. I ended up tapping into the fashion industry, and it wasn't just like, oh, like I like fashion. No, like I actually was on editorial campaigns and like launching brands and stuff like that.
Crazy.
So I gained so much knowledge because on an actual on-set shoot, you deal with the whole everything. Like a whole photo shoot, you have a photographer, you have a whole structure, and like I learned and I developed that program, and I was so comfortable in it because that was my world. Like I was in fashion shows, everything, like in the professional aspect. And I knew what it took to launch campaigns and all that stuff, the creative board and that whole aspect. So I came back during the pandemic and I tapped in with him, and I was like, you know, like that's family always, never has changed. And I tapped back into it, and I'm like, he told me, he's like, I need your help. I wasn't planning on moving back. I was just here because I'm like, I'm gonna be here until the pandemic is done and the photo shoots and everything starts up again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what my forte is. That's my niche. Well, my niche. And then I was like, he told me, he's like, I need your help. I'm like, I can actually contribute to this. So I was like, you know what? Forget that. Like, I'm gonna do this. And like, I went back to Jersey, packed all my stuff, and moved back down here. And I'm like, you know what? Like, we gonna make this happen. And
That's
like,
what's up.
and every
That's
single
what's up.
day. And it also helps the fact that I've known him for so long. He's giving me so much direction when I was younger. And like, I would have never left to New York had I not
There's a
been
trust
in
factor
his
that goes
in
into
his
that, yeah.
in his garage folding shirts with him. He's like
Nice.
do it. Stop being scared. Just go. You know what I'm
How
saying?
old are you?
I just turned 27.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
And we separated, like when we first started the brand, she went to Jersey,
Yeah.
gained all this experience.
Boston.
Boston.
shut up. I did not go to
Right.
Boston. Mic check.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
Boston.
No disrespect to Boston.
No disrespect. Shout out B-Town.
But yeah, you know, she went out there, gained all this experience, and then came back. You know, and I remember when I had another guy that we were doing business with, that was a brand manager, and at the time she came around, you know, and you know, I had to let him go, and she was so nervous. She's like, "Yo, Josh, please, let's
Mind you,
like."
I
She wrote me a
thought this
whole
guy gave
paragraph.
structure because I thought he had structure. So when I came in, I literally wasn't even my intention. I came in and
Right.
I'm like, okay, how can I help? So I would come in every single day, see what they had going on. I would hear him talk and preach his stuff, and I'm like, this guy's frustrated. Something's not being done right. So I'm watching. I'm
It's a
like,
fact.
okay, so something's not being done right. How can I contribute? I'm already here. I'm gonna help.
Yeah.
So then I'm looking at everything, and little by little, I'm here thinking that this guy had everything under control. I'm here trying to help him. But then I started looking, I started realizing I was giving him direction in certain things. I was teaching him certain things, but I'm never here to weed anybody out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
hard work speaks for itself, and my drive speaks for itself as well. He basically weeded himself out. No disrespect.
She wrote me
And
a whole message.
that man
For the
told
record,
me.
Marcy was a blessing. I remember the first time I met her and when she was around, and it was a dope ass vibe, and I knew instantly that she was gonna be a major part of what we got going on with Fame and Fortune. And to this day, I guess you can see not everything goes right in business. We all know that.
Facts.
And to the
At all. I have
and-
mental breakdowns all the time.
And definitely, if you can stay together through all of that, you already know, like, the relationship, the friendships, and it's like family, you know. And it's deep, you know. But it was a blessing, definitely. When I met her, and I was like, damn, she's gonna play a big role. And she helped so much, and she is super, super dope.
Right.
Thank you.
Yo, so one thing that I think is really dope, which, you know, I said we was gonna get to this part, right?
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons, you know, I kept on hearing about y'all so much is, like you said, a lot of the stuff you do, if not all of it, is organic, correct?
Absolutely.
1000%.
And you guys was organically reaching different industries. You know, it wasn't just some, you know, entrepreneurs that was telling me, yo, these dudes is lit, but it was athletes, you know, you see the rappers here. How did that all that start to happen?
Just work, bro. I mean, I guess, you know, they say real recognize real. The energy that I was putting out into the universe was just coming back.
This
you
guy
know?
does nothing but show love and support to people, bro.
And not just that, but the chemistry in itself. Like, that doesn't lie. Like, I can sit here and try to rehearse something. You could tell that it's scripted. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
But we've had situations, for example, this one person that I consider a mentor to me in this industry. He actually was a salesperson, really big in the industry. He retired. His name is Greg Keller. Amazing
Crazy.
person. Somebody who
Shout
honestly
out Greg
was.
Keller, man.
Shout out to Greg Keller. I love Greg Keller. So Greg Keller is a very resourceful person for us as well. Somebody actually had recommended him to us.
Chris
No
Noel from Embellish Jeans.
Yes.
He recommended him to us, telling
I
us
know
to.
Embellish Jeans.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're wearing the
So
shirts all the
yeah.
time.
we were looking
Right.
for sales reps at this point.
Nice.
So funny
Embellish
story.
Jeans.
We were looking for sales reps, right? Because of course, like, we're in apparel line, we're looking for sales reps.
Yeah.
And he gave us 3 names. He was number 1 on the list. He's like, he might be retired, but you know, like, just do your best. Reach out to him. So I contacted him. Couldn't get in touch with him. I'm like, all right, cool. Couple months down the road, we go to LA. We're doing our footwork, what we have to do on our back end, you know, like trying to make connections and network and whatnot. And a close friend of his who we've known for a very long time was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to introduce you to somebody. Introduces us to Greg Keller.
That's crazy.
And mind you, this man came
coincidence.
down,
coincidence,
he
facts.
came down really unimpressed. He's actually the type of person, and I
Right.
hope he watches this, because he's the type of person that he's so unimpressed.
Right.
Send them this section.
And you know what it is, like, and obviously, like, it's a man versus man, so it's like, you see, I'm standing on the side, and I'm like, you know, especially me as a woman, like, a lot of times, unfortunately, people look at me, they're like, oh, she's probably just, like, chilling with all of them. You know, no, in reality, like, I play a role here. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But I don't voice that. Like, it speaks for itself. But Greg Keller and him had a couple of words, and Greg and him, you know, there was how guys are at one point.
Macho and shit.
At one point,
Ego.
and then when he
Ego.
asked the magic question, he's like, "What's your strategy?" I was like, "Respectfully, I'm gonna step in." Boom, hit him with my knowledge. And he understood the role that I played.
Yeah.
And that man started smiling. He's like,
The
and he
structure.
told us, and he's like, "You know why?" He told him, he's like, "She's like a missile to what's going on in here." He's like, "This family-driven energy and your story is what is speaking to me right now." And he basically came out of retirement, and he's like, and he told me since that day, he told me, he was like, "Kid, you remind me of myself when I was your age, and if not, like, you're younger than me, so you're gonna be so much further." He's like, lean on me as much as you can with everything that you guys have going on. And he's literally, like, it's no coincidence, like you
Right.
once said.
That's
like,
amazing. That's amazing. for
so
real.
Now he
to
goes-
answer your
now he
question,
goes
it's
for
our
this.
story.
Right.
Because we've gone to trade shows, and we've had trade shows, and, like, you know, we have a whole nice little setup, and it's not the setup, and, like, yeah, the material is dope, but people are like, oh, okay, that's cool, but we're not just t-shirts. Everything that we design has a whole storyline behind it. Every item has a name, and every name ties in with the whole entire brand. And I create a story for that, because emotion is what sells. And we stand for something. We have a positive outlook on everything that we do. And we, as you see, everywhere you go, there's positive messages. You look at our posts, like, we want everybody to feel a part of the process. So we go to these trade shows, and yeah, we show you good quality material. But when I tell you the story, that's what makes you want to put us into your store.
Right.
Because you see how much of us is invested into it. Like, I do this with my heart.
Shout out to the material though. This is an amazing shirt.
Fabulous.
It got you feeling spicy.
Exactly. Exactly.
But bro, tell him how, like, you know, at the end of the day, a lot of it, that's all good stuff. But like I said, dating back, we know our families go back to Brooklyn, right?
You from the east?
And I'm from the east side. So then, at the
From
end of the day,
Boston.
is right.
East side Boston.
But at the end of the day, it's like that right there. Like, I could have kept doing my own business. A lot of people do their own things. But that energy some bring is different, man. And
Contagious.
It's
it is,
contagious.
and it's good. And you want to work with him. And sometimes he get a little hot and he got a little, you know, he get a little crazy, right?
Let's
but the
zoom
truth of
into
the
my
matter
face
is,
on this one.
when you know, you'll know somebody who got a heart of gold. You know what I'm saying? And
I
when
just
they
want
want
more
more
for
for
you,
you
bro. I just
than
want
for
more.
themselves.
I want more for people.
Exactly.
You can't fake energy though. That's something you said, and that's something I believe in. That's why, and everybody knows this. Like, when you ask me, yo, you got any talking points? I'm like, nope. Straight, I just flow, bro,
Yeah.
because you can't fake energy.
The energy, exactly.
If
You
I
could
had,
tell
if
when
I had,
somebody's
if I had
scripted.
something written down and scripted, you could, like you said, you could tell. And that's why I told you, you like, yo, you got any talking points? You got a
Yeah.
script? I'm like, nah, bro, we just gonna get on and start talking.
I know, that's like we're like, hold on a second. All right, let's rock. Let's rock.
It's always better that
You
way,
have your
organic.
team beside you. We'll rock. You
Right,
fall
right.
down short, I'll pick you back up, and you
Facts.
pick up
I love
from
it,
there.
I love it. I love
Of
it.
course.
I love it. I'm very team oriented as well.
Absolutely, man. That's, you know, Jesus even did the 12 disciples, bro.
That's a
Nobody
fact.
gonna make it.
Shout out Easter Sunday.
That's
Went
a
to church
fact.
today.
Shout out. Salute.
No, but it really is contagious, and like having him as a leader and like a best friend, a partner, a brother. Like to me, it's like I could be doing good, and he'll literally everybody on our team, he'll be like, "You could do better," and then he'll like push that out of you. And if not, like
People
it's
get
contagious.
complacent, bro.
No,
You know that sometimes people
he
get to
won't
a
let
certain
you
place
fall
in life
short.
and it's just like, all right, this is enough. And for me, it's never enough. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, there's just so much more we could do. You know, I wish there was two of me. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, I'll build
here.
even bigger. I know that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm just the type of person, man, I would never settle for less. You know, I've had jobs, don't get me wrong, but I've always been big on working on my own. You know what I'm saying?
You got the job, but in your head, you're like, I'm gonna use this money from this job to do
So, yes,
to do whatever.
right, right.
Yeah, nah, I feel like.
I just want to create a better path for my kids, a better way, like Jim Monopoly says,
Facts,
right?
facts.
Like for my kids, bro. You know what I'm
Break
saying?
that
I want to
cycle.
make sure exactly. I'm the first generation of my family to actually do this. So I just hope that they can look at this and say, you know what, my father sacrificed a lot, you know, and they're gonna take over when I leave.
We're not here for a good time. It's literally for a legacy.
Right.
That's what we're trying to build
Right.
right now.
We in a boxing ring right now. We're in a boxing ring right now. If y'all haven't noticed, so
No
how
gloves.
did the sports thing come along? What made you be like, yo, sport?
Yo, bro, I love the sport. Bro, this is the only sport that you play and you get punched in the face.
You don't
You
play
can't
it.
play
You
this
can't
shit.
play it. Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
It's real. At any given second, you getting punched in the face. So, I mean, obviously, I boxed when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it takes a lot of dedication.
nice?
I was good. I get busy. We gonna do a little something.
You want to
I'll get
start?
ready
You
for
want
your
to see
fight.
how nice?
All right. But yo, listen, man. It takes a lot of dedication, determination. That's why I
almost
respect
took the
these
tear out the
boxers.
ring. Yo, what's going on?
I will see myself out.
Nah, but yo, a lot of these kids, I respect them because, yo, bro, it takes a lot in boxing.
does.
You know, like, it's not an easy sport. You walk into the ring to get beat up or, you know what I'm saying, be in somebody's punching bag. You know, so I commend these kids who are out there doing big things, you
You
know.
train 4 months for 30 minutes.
I know, right.
Sometimes even less.
Even less. Sometimes even less. You train 4
If you're
months
good
for,
enough,
for,
even
for
less.
Like 12 minutes, 16 minutes, whatever
Right.
the case. It's crazy.
Right.
That's a
You know what I'm
fact.
saying? So it's a sport that no matter what, bro, like you gotta sacrifice a lot. You put physically you put yourself on the line to make sure that, you know, your family or whoever you're doing it for is good. You know what I'm saying? So I respect the sport and I love it. I love
Physically
it.
and mentally, because I used to fight myself, and like it's such a mental aspect because you'll be at your weight class and like you drop from as a female to drop like 30 40 pounds sometimes for a fight, and I'd be at my bare minimum not eating, and then you still have to it's so mental because you still have to go in there and fight like if you didn't just do all that. You know what I'm saying? It's all sacrifice
And every L is your L.
everything.
Right.
Yeah.
If you,
By
when you
yourself.
playing a team sport, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
this
we
person
lost
did,
together.
this, that,
And
we got
boxing
point.
is
It's
like,
fact.
nigga, that was on you. What you
lost.
did wrong. Right. Facts.
Can't point fingers.
But we actually had this conversation yesterday as well. We have the boxing gym, the studio, the clothing, apparel. You know what I'm saying? That's always first, the clothing, apparel line, and the basketball court, and everything literally ties in together because all of those aspects you sacrifice, you lose, you have to be completely dedicated to
Not
actually
just that though,
accomplish
growing
it.
up where we came from, these were the outlets.
Of course.
In order for the only outlets we had. You know what I'm saying? Because
Nah,
yo,
that's
we growing up, and, you know, government assistance, you know, and stuff like so.
Yeah.
Sports
Ain't lawyers.
itself, right?
You know,
exactly.
doctors coming out of
I'm
Brooklyn.
from Woodhaven in Jamaica, so
That's where I'm
it's
at,
like
too.
we right here.
Yeah,
So
we
I
right there.
I grew up right around the eye, but a few years apart.
Ain't no lawyers coming out of there.
I mean, there is.
There's some.
You know, but you know, you really have to
But you
push
don't
hard.
hear
to
about
have
It's
that.
rare.
Right. But you don't
It's
hear
rare.
about that.
Right.
A lawyer get his bread, and you don't hear about no lawyers on TV. So you never get to see it. The only ones you get to see is the rappers,
Right.
the artists.
So it's like, yo, it's the culture. You know what I'm saying? From where we come from. And this was the outlets. You know what I'm saying? Boxing, basketball, rapping. You know what I'm saying?
But
How'd
you
you
see-
get plugged in with all the boxers though?
Well-
Because I know you got world champions.
Well, let me
got-
tell you something. Let me say something real quick to piggyback off of him, and he could probably let him answer for himself. He's a grown man. But the truth of the matter is, if you think about it, right, his message, everything he just said right now, right, you could be out there trying to pay for sponsorships everywhere and doing all this other stuff. There's a lot of boxers that mess with the brand, like you know that, like we all know, right? And they're doing it organically. Why? Because of everything he just said. It's their message.
It resonates with them.
It's what they do it
I ain't
for.
gotta do much.
He ain't lying.
They understand the sacrifice. Everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be fortunate.
And they see that.
I ain't gotta say much. They live this life.
Right.
Fact.
They wake up every morning with the same mindset me and you have.
They want to throw
Alright?
that shit on just cause.
Right.
Because they know it represents
It
the same
resonates
thing.
Because it
with them.
resonates with what they have going on.
Right.
I like that.
That's what it is.
It's like I don't
And it's not
really
only
gotta force
boxers,
it.
That's why
though.
all this
It's
stuff
rappers.
comes organically. Like people literally, it's like people can relate to what the message is. That's why every single shirt that you have, that shirt is late nights, early mornings collection.
Right.
Why?
That's
Because
the
anybody
late
that
nights
wants fame and
collection
fortune,
right
you
there.
have late nights
I
and
know what
early
collection it
mornings.
Well, yeah.
But now
This is
you
Levi's
know.
shirt, I'm not gonna lie.
That's a lie. But
Shout out to Levi. You know, but yo, listen.
everything has a
right.
message tied to it, and people resonate with it. There's like the motor suit collection is leap of faith, and yeah, it's a motorcycle stunt, but it's also leap of faith, and people
Take
buy
that chance.
into
I like that.
that. You know what
I
I'm
like that.
saying?
Fire.
Everything has a
I like that.
purpose.
All sauce,
I like
man.
that.
Yeah, we're a purpose-driven brand, bro. Like that.
I like that a lot, bro.
Right.
And I connected with your story heavy, bro. You know, from the rip, bro. We connected. Like
That's a
I
fact.
hit you up like 2 weeks after. I'm like, yo, bro, we gotta get you on the podcast.
Thank you, man.
Literally, I hit him
That's
up
dope.
2 weeks
Bro,
after.
but how could you not? Like you see somebody that's gone through so much down, and it's like he's over here picking himself up, and he's bringing a team up with him. So how could you not
Blessing.
be inspired by
It's a
that?
blessing.
Facts.
I got a really important question.
Good stuff.
I'm
Really
scared.
important. What's up with this whole Boston shit?
I don't know, honestly.
Nah, I'll give you the scoop
It's
on it.
him. He be coming out of
Scoop on
left
this
field.
one.
He
Yo,
comes out of
on
left
this
field
one.
with so much
So
of
I'll
his
be
stuff,
honest, I'll
bro,
answer that question.
honestly.
So the truth is that I always gotta throw jabs at Marcy. She does so much work, and she's such a pillar to the brand. And sometimes she cut herself short of that, and she goes on these little mental things. And so
I
it's
go
just
through
fun.
mental
You know, it's all
breakdowns.
fun.
That's what he's talking about.
She's from Jersey. You know how we feel about Jersey and Boston if you're from Brooklyn. So it's whatever. Brooklyn. But it's all love. I love her. She's
Nah,
like
this is
my
all
sister
day.
too,
Like
man.
them two in the same room together, man. And, you know, it's a love-hate relationship.
It's a love hate because
but
this man,
they bring the best out of
he's
each other.
very structured, very organized, but he's in a different type of world than I am. I'm clearly more fashionably driven, but you know what I'm saying.
Hating
So
on my tie-dyes right now.
I'm clearly more fashionably driven, but we're not gonna bring that up because Boston dresses like Boston. But regardless, we level each other out.
What you
We-
started, bro?
No, we level each other out because he has a lot of valid points. He's our strategist in all senses. Like you talk numbers, and that man is gonna win. I don't even try to argue with numbers, but I have my valid points too. You know what I'm saying? And like it's a man's world, but not when Marcy's in the freaking room. Like it changes up a little bit. But like with him, like we create a really good dynamic between
It's
us,
a good balance.
and then it's a balance because he'll have his valid points, I have mine, and together we put together everything together, and then next thing you know, we just structure the next everything else for the whole entire brand.
Right.
So it's different. Like we all three of us, we mesh really well together. It's like love hate.
That's the point. You can't
More
fake
love than
chemistry.
hate,
You can't
though.
fake it. That's a that's an art in itself that people don't talk about in business.
It's like ketchup, mustard, and mayonnaise. I don't know what I am, but I let them choose and pick. But it's better.
He's like, I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I promise.
You like a bootleg A1 sauce.
So what? I know y'all talking about strategy, you know, and all of that. So what's next? What's next for Fame and Fortune? What are you guys looking to accomplish?
I mean, bro, we want the message to be delivered, you know, because like I said, we're a purposely driven brand,
Right.
and we're just out here trying to inspire people, bro. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what it is.
Just to try to show people that it is possible. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing impossible. It's all what you put your mind to and adapt. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, we just want to touch the world because there's kids out there right now, bro, that don't understand. Like, there's a lot that goes into anything that you do. You know, a lot of dedication. That's why we're just trying to let people understand the message that we're trying to deliver. Bro.
And not just that, but I feel like that's a hard question to answer because no matter what, we're right now at a point that we're working each time to overcome what we've done in the past.
Yeah.
So it's like we don't have, not that we don't have an end goal because we know that we want to be globally known,
but you know there's always a
worldwide
next
known.
level.
Exactly.
But yeah, let me do my job.
And we're always
But yeah,
pushing
let me do my
ourselves
job,
for
right?
that.
So right now we're about to unleash several collections, really realistically for the brand. So everything they said is accurate. But we are about to release a summer and spring collection that's gonna hit everybody in the chest. We do got a winner for a collection that we unfold in a stupid campaign for.
Athletic.
We got this drop list campaign that is like it matches with the hottest and the latest sneaker collections, sneaker drops that are coming out.
That's fire.
So
we
that's
got
how we
that
initially
popping.
started too.
Yes.
We initially started because he was making sure the colors that he would use was what was relevant to the sneaker collections that were coming out. I'm so sorry that I cut you off. Please don't come for me. But literally, like that's what originally everything started with. Like it was crazy colors that didn't even make sense, and he was making shirts that put him into storefronts because they're like, oh,
goes
you
with
come
the
in and you
Nikes,
shop
the
and it
new
comes
J's that's
together.
dropping. It's a
So we
fact.
don't try to lose that from what we already doing.
roots, the roots,
exactly.
right.
The roots are always gonna be there. That's what got us here.
And on top of that, in addition to all of that, we are doing other things like we have a basketball tournament coming up. We're working with big time brands doing cross networking projects.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this or not, but the runs are he got a lot of stuff he works on the back end that I'm not allowed to put out there.
We'll
until he
bleep, we'll,
green
bleep,
lights.
we'll bleep it over.
Yeah, so if he don't
With
get the
the
green light
beep.
on that, do that. Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff we do, and so we keep it consistent. Like for example, right now we have the boxers coming in, and they use this facility here to go ahead and do their training camps, and we do media days, and then we cross-brand the clothing apparel line, which
Yeah.
Fame and Fortune is, with these other subsidiaries. So we keep him busy, man, and we have a lot of
Yeah.
stuff coming, and the latest collections that's gonna drop is gonna be retarded.
Y'all got an entrepreneur event coming through soon, right? In
Pop
July,
up
right?
shots,
I
exactly.
think June 19th.
Yeah.
I'm
June
not
19th,
mistaken.
yeah?
If I'm not
Who's
mistaken.
that with?
My boy Levi.
Oh, that's
Jay,
what's up.
And
I
my,
like
my
it, I
nigga
like
Jay
it.
Money.
Levi, the owner of the shirt.
Word. So we're doing something with Levi. Shout out to Levi, and we're gonna have that coming up too. So
a
you see,
fact.
we staying busy, man. We do have a lot going on.
Yeah.
And if you want to see more, go to fameandfortuneco.com and Fame and Fortune.
Follow us at Fame and
Co.
Fortune Co.
on Instagram,
TikTok,
and you'll see a lot more
all the
going on
above.
there, and you can find more stuff from us. You can shop with us. We'll appreciate that for sure.
I love it. I love it. Let me ask y'all a question. This is gonna be. Every time I ask this question, everybody got a different answer.
I'm scared.
So, cause y'all a team, but
Of course.
everybody sees everybody. But people don't realize that everybody on a team might see things different, even though y'all still work together and still in cohesive. Like you know,
course.
y'all still cohesive, work well together. What do you think was the, like, cause you said this is the third time y'all rebranded. Of course, there's still a next level you want to hit. But this is the time where y'all really got a team right, moving in the right direction. You got the right people, right time, right place, right product, the whole nine, right? What do you think is what made that happen? What was the moment that made that happen? I'll start with you.
Well, hold on. Recall, what was the question?
What do you think was the moment that made that happen? That made y'all be able to come together?
To be honest, we always meshed together. Like,
Yes.
we always had that friendship. It was always there. Like, my love for him and his family and his kids has always been there, like our friendship. But to me, it's crazy to answer because I had took 9 to 10 years that I moved back up north. And I was living in Jersey but working in New York. And it's like, it was one of those things that I was really like soul searching because I was real lost. Out here, it's like I said before, it's easy to be satisfied, complacent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to discover what my purpose was out there. And I'm not saying that, all right, let me put it like this. Like, I went through rock bottom and brought myself back up. And I built myself. And it's almost like everything that I learned was for that what I have going on right now. And that might sound crazy. It might sound crazy because I literally
listen. That's divine intervention. A lot of stuff.
Yo.
Listen,
Divine justice.
right? Just to answer that question, it's like, yo, this is all God's doing. You know what I'm
Literally,
saying?
'cause
Like,
I
straight
can't
up.
even
a lot
fake
of
it,
things
like-
that happen. Like when we first started, she was always in the garage with me. One of the very few that used to always come there and just keep me company. You
Every
know what I'm
day
saying? Like, yo,
after
bro,
work.
you know what it is to be in there 12, 14 hours a day just printing clothes, and then you know, you by yourself. You don't got nobody to talk to. You kind of go crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm constantly working. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I would have my kids, my daughters that come and help me fold clothes. She would always be there. So her going away, getting the experience that she gained during the time that, you know, she was away. And then my younger brother, because when I first started the clothing line with him, my little brother used to want to give clothes away to everybody. And I'm like, yo, bro, I might as well just start giving my money away to everybody because that's what we're doing. All right? Like, we got to start making money off the brand because, yo, bro, we're providing a service for these people. So my little brother going away, learning the importance of business and, you know, and having people like learning sales because that's the field he went into.
Yeah.
So she went into the field of learning the
Fashion.
back end fashion and stuff like that. My brother went into the field of learning how to sell stuff. All right. So when we all came together, it was like boom, the company started to make sense now. Like it started to gravitate, and then having, you know, Money Boy come around as a person who, you know, own
Builds a
multiple
structure.
businesses. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, the name speaks for itself.
right. But he's been into a lot of different aspects of business. It's not just real estate. It's not just accounting. It's not like, you know, everything. You know, he's done everything under the sun. So he kind of gave us the direction we needed in order to push forward in life. You know what I'm saying? With this whole brand. So having everyone together at this time, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So once I jumped out the gate and they were like, let's go. You know, like I said, I remember when I got rid of the old brand manager, she was questioning herself. She wrote me a whole
essay. I was like, you're making a mistake.
And I'm like,
because
yo, listen.
I know you. This person said, how's it? He was like, no. I was like, damn, he's so stubborn. He hasn't
And
changed.
Jay, listen, I know what I'm looking for. I'm a type of person like, yo, once I see what I'm looking for.
But you know what's crazy? I'm sorry to cut you off. You know what's crazy? That he was here and he was packing all his stuff up on his very last day, and I was like, "Yo, Fred, like,
yeah, well,
whatever."
Such
I
and
was
such.
like, "Yo, you're really gonna do this to us? Like, you're really gonna leave?" And he's like, "Marcy, they have you." He's like, "Trust me when I tell you, you're all they need." He's like, "That's it. You got this." And I was like, "This man crazy." Like, I was like, "Me? I would just do fashion," you know what I'm saying? But like, and then Josh was telling me, he's like, "No, like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I have you."
Just please give me some time.
So
let me
it goes
push.
back into what Money Boy says. Money Boy's like, you cut yourself short with a lot of stuff. And honestly,
She second-guesses
that's,
herself.
you know what it is? You're your own worst critic. And I read a lot. I do all this stuff, but I really can be my own worst critic. And one thing I learned a lot from him is to not be so much in my head and just flow with things. And ever since I started doing that, things have been progressing.
You only live once, bro. You just gotta go. You know.
And that's why I tell him, I'm like, that's why I was telling you earlier too, like, when I moved out there, like, it wasn't all like, oh yeah, I just walked into the fashion world. No, I had to literally, like, I went through rock bottom and I put myself in a good position and I got a lot of no's and the fashion world is a very ugly place, unfortunately. It's very evil. It's a lot of bad stuff to it.
I've heard.
But it's bad. No, it's really bad. And like, I went through so much ugly and I'm like, when I came back and I touched base with him again, I was like, nah, it's crazy because I feel like this is where I literally was molded to be.
That's dope.
That's beautiful. That's a dope story. I love it.
That's why I told him, I was like, you don't have my 100, like, you have my 1,000. And it doesn't help the fact that I love him so much, I love his kids so much, and being a family-oriented business, I'm gonna be honest with you, I see his kids every single day, and like, I've seen his little girls grow up, and like, I love them. So to me, I see it, and I'm like, even when you come in not motivated, bro, like, cause you know, I go through my mental breakdowns and I go through my stuff, I look at them and I'm like, I'm building this shit for them.
Mm-hmm.
My nieces are gonna be better off than I was. And then I hope to inspire my nieces to become something.
That's beautiful.
As a woman, because I'm a woman, I've gone through stuff. Yo, I went to New York not too long ago, and I had a suitcase full of our clothes. Cause I'm like, I'm not gonna wait for these trade shows. I'm gonna like pack my stuff. I went store to store.
I got a phone call from one of the stores, and they're like, yo, they were so excited that she got there, right? They're like, yo, we asked for the boss, and you sent her.
Mind you, I was going to these stores, I was mapping stuff out, and I was like, every single day was a different day, and I was going to stores by myself. As a woman, like, I had experienced harassment, underestimated, who is this girl, what the hell does she want, she's wasting my time. Attitude would go from to actually respecting me and acknowledging me, and like, you know what, like, I understand that, and I'm not scared of no's, but I'm like, this is my brand. This is who I am. It's 1,000% of it. And I don't need a whole team of guys, a whole team of anybody. Like, I'm going to come here by myself because he's working on one side, I'm working on the other side. And separating ourselves, we conquer a lot more. I don't need to be side by side with him everywhere that I go.
That's my yin, the yin and yang, bro.
And I'm not scared of it. And like,
that balance.
It was a lot. But every single day, like, every time that I've wanted to quit, I call him, I call his wife. I look at his kids, and I'm like, nah, it's bigger than that.
Same thing. When I want to quit, I call her too. Like, yo, listen, this is what it is. But like I said, she gives me the balance I need. You know, like I said, together, there's not much we can't conquer together. You know what I'm saying? As long as I know I got one person riding with me, the rest is history, bro.
That's beautiful. And I know we're talking a lot about family right now. So speaking about family, I don't want to hold y'all up here too long, all right? So I think y'all dropped some heat today. Dropped some heat today for real. This is one of my and because like what you said, I respect the brand, the vision, everything behind it, bro. So I really had a good time doing this. Let's finish it off like this, y'all. Starting with you, Winnie boy. What is one piece of advice you would give to anybody out there listening from your expertise? And y'all can't copy each other's answers. I don't want to hear that.
You about to have 10 minutes of a clip right now.
Nah, in terms of like
in this industry specifically.
Strategize.
Well, I think that the best advice you could give somebody is, not to quit. At the end of the day, if you're really passionate about something, just keep going and, keep doing your research and prepare. One thing that I'm known for with the team is, and it's specifically with strategizing is, creating lists, creating goals, and attacking them strategically. Try the process of elimination. Don't overwhelm yourself with 100 different things to do. Make a list, use paper and pen. Anybody who knows me knows that that's the advice I'm going to give you, because I think that's how you get things done properly. And, once you go ahead and you start process of elimination, and even when you hit that wall, do some more research, reach out to a few people, communicate, and get past it. Don't quit. That'll be my answer.
My answer to that would be like, yo, anything is possible. A lot of people, they're not successful because they give up on themselves before they even start. You know what I'm saying? And you just gotta go for it, man. You only live once,
Facts. Make it count.
Yeah, make it count, man. Whatever it is you might want to do in life, man. And learn the industry that you want to be in. You know what I'm saying? Don't just jump into something, man. Yes, because you're right. And my biggest mistakes were not learning what I needed to learn. I started investing money into a brand without knowing about trademarking, not knowing the dynamics that go behind it and stuff like that. So definitely educate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Find out exactly what you need to know in any industry that you're trying to get yourself involved in. Do research. You know what I'm saying? Don't just jump into something. You know what I'm saying? Because that'll be your greatest mistake. It's just jumping into something. It'll be your greatest mistake and your greatest lesson as well.
Facts.
Which happened to me. Regardless of what, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna learn. But save yourself some money. Learn what you need to know before you just do it. You know what I'm saying? But that'll be my greatest, best advice to anyone is just educate yourself, man. The information's out there.
Love it. What about you, Marcy?
Shit, my biggest piece of advice is just, honestly, just do it. Whatever idea you have, just launch it. Just, no matter how crazy it might sound, because a lot of times I say things and I feel things and I feel insane, and it's like, just launch it, just do it. Believe in yourself. Don't cut yourself short, because you really are your worst enemy. And I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of positive, like, affirmations and all that stuff, and like, it plays a big role. But honestly, with something like this, it's like develop a team, develop a strategy, develop that mindset, because your mindset is everything. Your mental is going to take over all your emotions in all senses. And just don't give up. Because there's times that I've literally been like, yo, I have 3-4 mental breakdowns in a day. Everybody has seen it. I cry tears. But I cry because I love what I do. So love what you do. Remain yourself in everything that you do, and
That's
no
what
matter
happens when you
how
from Boston.
lost,
They give you like 10.
they
You ask for
talking to
one.
Marcy, bro. They talking to Marcy. Believe in yourself and get that shit done. And don't get somebody like Money Boy on your team. You heard? It's like, no, I'm just kidding. No, but that's my best piece of
Fame and
advice,
Fortune,
honestly.
you already know what it is, man.
Facts. I'm about to drop that, yo. I appreciate y'all tuning in. FameandFortuneCO.com. Did I get that right?
That's a fact.
FameandFortuneCo.com.
.com.
That's a fact.
And on Instagram, Fame and Fortune Co.
That's a fact.